Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Hightop Sports. Happy to have you guys all back. I do want to apologize really quickly. I missed the show yesterday, our live show that we've been doing for the last 3 years. Haven't missed a one. Missed the first one yesterday due to American Airlines being a crock of shit and delaying our flights the entire time that when we flew to Vegas, we missed our flight because of a delay. Had a 3-hour layover. Happened to be in Charlotte Airport where there's a lot of FSU fans. So I wasn't mad about it. Had a layover, had a delay coming back. Plane was broken. All kinds of nonsense. It was mayhem. The air conditioning broke. It was a rough ride. Got home, wasn't feeling so hot, and obviously got home extremely late. So I called it quits. And finally, after a couple hours of taking a lot of medicine, drinking some orange juice, feeling a little better. Still struggling. Gonna pop through this. Gonna work through this. Got a lot to go over though. It was supposed to be a big birthday bash here, right? We turned 30 today. Last year, my birthday, we had DJ Lagwa commit. We've had the complete opposite commit. Jordan Seaton, no bueno. Trevor Etienne, see you later, alligator, which we knew was going to happen. We've been talking about the show for the last week or so. He could have just, could have either done it earlier or not waited for my birthday, but it is what it is. Princely obviously entered as well. Chris McKellen, he entered in as well. A lot to go over, and then we were looking to have Stephen Harris on later tonight for a show to talk a few things, just a little bit more in depth. We've been trying to get him on the show, but between our schedules being a little busy, so hopefully we can get that figured out. But without further ado, let's talk about Princely. He is going into the portal. Something interesting here, though, that happened, I saw this tweeted out, is 2Bits tweeted, curious if Princely would consider coming back, depending on who he hires as a coach on the defensive side of the ball. He said yes. So very interesting. Now, the rest of the tweet says, for 2Bits, says, going into the portal allows him to review all of his options, NIL options, and how teams plan to use him. And then he reiterated saying it has nothing to do with money, just for your information. So more so with how it's going to roll out on who is coming in as the defensive line coach. And I guess not necessarily DB coach, but who's going to be coming in as a defensive line coach, which is very interesting, right? Like I thought for sure this thing would be a locked and load already on where they were headed, because we talked, I think, a week ago with the fires happening to Corey Raymond and Coach Chaos, because Coach Chaos already has a job. Think about it like that, right? Coach Chaos, who was let go just 2 weeks ago, has already been picked up by Texas A&M. Yet we went out and fired him without having some kind of game plan or backup plan of who we were going to go get and who we were going to place him with. Now, we have a lot of rumors, a lot of noise of who it could be, right? We've heard a lot of noise about Will Harris, the DB of Chargers, possibly coming in, but nothing's been released yet. Obviously, the Ed Orgeron thing has been a thing that's been going around the market as of late, which isn't a real deal. But I thought for sure we would have somebody by now, especially with the portal hopping. You see guys already committing to places, which tells you tampering's happening, but that's just the rules. It is what it is. And Chris McKellen, he just entered into the draft, or the portal, and he already has a slew of offers from FSU, Arkansas, Colorado, who else? Mizzou, I believe. Oklahoma, was another one I just saw. SMU. I mean, the offers are already flowing into him, and he just entered the portal 2 days ago. I haven't seen a single offer from Florida hopping into the transfer portal. So we're going to get into that in just a moment there about kind of my thoughts and my opinions about what's happening with how things are being ran. But I feel like, we're behind the 8 ball a little bit. But look, the Princely one is an interesting one, because I thought if we lost him, it would be to the NFL, right? And now it's not to the NFL, it is to the portal, although he did allude he could come back depending on who the defensive line coach. I don't believe he's coming back. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's just trying to be polite. Then when he entered in as normal, Gator Nation decided to just troll him on Twitter. You got some people who are okay with it. Like, I don't want him on the team anyways. He gets too involved with Twitter, which I think is a bit much. My stance on that. I've always been a component of these guys being highly involved on social media, whether we like what they have to say or not. I'm okay with it. And also his production on the field, some people were unhappy with it and weren't very pleased with it. But I think Prince was a great guy. Loved him on the field, and he was a great addition to the team. There were some times where I felt like, hey, we could see a little more from him. If you take a look at the data, some of his stat line. Sometimes it didn't support that, but I believe he was top 3, top 5, I believe, for rusher presence or percentage. So definitely going to be a big loss, again, alongside Chris McKellen as well. And Big Dez just retweeted one of Chris McKellen's offer. Goes, man, they're really flying in. Must like what they see. So, it's right now it seems like it's extremely cloudy over Florida football, and that leads obviously to our next one, which is going to be Mr. Trevor Etienne. which we've been talking about it. We heard about it. We thought we felt pretty confident this would be happening. We talked about it with I played that clip from you guys from Mark Long and Edgar Thompson's podcast where they said it was basically a done deal. So we knew it was coming. We had some people saying that I'm not going to believe it until it happens, and I totally get that. So here we are. Look, I think Gator Nation's going to be very upset with this, very displeased and frustrated. And look, the more this continues to happen, the more I just see the portal the way that it is, the way that it's been over the last week since it's actually opened on Monday, is it's the entire world of college football has changed even more so from last year. And I think we as fans are going to be in a weird place than ever before. And an interesting point here that I want to read too that was tweeted out from Nick Del Toro is, let me take a look at it real quick here. Out of the first signing class for Billy, almost half of them have entered into the portal. Kamari Wilson, 5-star recruit, gone. Shamar James, he's not entered into the portal yet, but there's a lot of murmurs that he could be going into the portal. So that would be a second 2 for 2. Chris McKellen, portal. Devin Moore, we know what he's done. Jamari Lyons, he has not. Trevor Etienne, portal. Caleb Douglas, portal. Boardingham, nothing yet. Hopefully nothing. Jack Piper, obviously still he should be good to go. Jalen Farmer, portal. Andrew Savania, portal, tight end. David Connor, he entered the portal last year. And then Ty Bowman and Jordan Herman both entered into the portal thus far. Who's left on that? Oh, and Max Brown, excuse me. So that's first half of the class. And the reason I bring that up and why I thought it was very interesting is, what do we always say? Just wait till Billy gets his guy. I've been that guy. I've said that. Wait till Billy gets his guys in here and we'll see what happens. Right? And allow for him to get through that Mullen class and work his guys in and out. Well, now his guys are leaving. Right? So there's a lot of question marks I've got going on there, boys. But let's take a look real quick on this Trevor Etienne tweet. So Stephen Harris, who we were just referring to, he tweeted out, said, I said we needed to make these hires fast. Obviously, that didn't happen. I'm just trying to figure out, how do you plan to attack the portal without having coaches in place? Y'all killing me at Florida Gators. We need news like today. Trevor Etienne liked that post, and then shortly after announced that he was entering to the portal. I'm not saying that these two things are correlated, but you got to look at that and be like, okay, well maybe Trevor's kind of seen, like, he's agreeing obviously with what he's saying. I'm like, why aren't we attacking things? Why aren't we doing things? This is the reason that I'm leaving. It's also shortly after, again, Jordan Seaton, which we're going to talk about in just a moment, that Florida was in for a very long time. There's a lot of talk that, hey, the reason why we're liking Rob Sale is because what Rob Sale and the relationship they have with Jordan Seaton. Well, now we missed out on that one. So could have Trevor been waiting around to say, hey, let me see what you guys do in the first 4, 5, 6 days of the portal? I don't know, right? Because we knew this was going to happen fairly early on, but maybe he at least wanted things to kind of see how it worked out. We haven't done anything. I don't think we even said hi to somebody yet. It doesn't appear that way anyways. I thought maybe we were working in silence, moving behind closed doors, but right now it just feels like things are just falling apart. It's like as if we're kind of just waiting around for something to happen. But Etienne going to the portal is absolutely tough. Like I mentioned on one of the shows the other day, Kamari Wilson signed this helmet. Big Des signed this helmet. Trevor Etienne signed this helmet. Ricky Pearsall signed this helmet. Austin Barber signed this helmet. So some guys are still there, but most of the guys are it's the bad luck helmet. They're all heading out as of now. So we'll see. But yeah, Trevor Etienne enter the portal again is a big blow to the staff, a big blow to this team. Very frustrating in my opinion for myself. I hate to see it. And, I think people are going to be more upset where he ends up, whatever school he ends up at, which right now the talks are Georgia and LSU. And for somebody who, we loved as a Gator and who we cherish, now going to be headed to a rival school, in a school that we've lost recruits to, now we're losing to them in the portal. And again, for Billy to lose half of his first recruiting class, one of them being one of them going into the rival more than likely, is not good. And then next up, we've got Jordan Seaton ends up committing to Colorado. This one kind of I think shook all of college football because I don't believe he even had Colorado on his top 6 when he went to commit today. If you look at his little graphic, Colorado wasn't even on there. And I think Jordan Seaton has these guys and Coach Prime in a way have no connection to On3. They're going to keep those guys out of loop because it feels like On3 is always missing the cusp. As for 247, they don't really have any kind of connection at all over there with what's going on, because I feel like every time it happens, nobody sees it coming when when they end up landing to commit. But this is a big one that Florida and Rob Sale were heavy on. And Rob Sale, I mean, we've heard things that he's not a big fan of recruiting. That's good news. That's good stuff to hear. And in a position group where we've kind of lacked, I think, recruiting for the last few years. We got Fletcher Westphal coming in, the biggest recruit we've had. But that's the biggest one. We had a 4-star guy. Weren't really impactful on the transfer portal. It scares me. It really scares me where things are headed, because we're missing the buck on all of these things. And again, if I'm Trevor Etienne, it's like, hey, the biggest point of emphasis was offensive line, and now we miss out on the number one offensive line. It's like, well, Sheldon, it's a 5-star, it's a freshman. He's not going to come in right away anyways. Go look at Alabama's offensive line. I've said this on the show before. Their two of their 5 starting offensive linemen are freshmen from last year. 5-star freshmen, the number 1 and number 3 offensive linemen, both made an impact. And guess where they're playing in just a couple of weeks? Final Four. So that he could come in right away. He's a left tackle, I believe, could come in right away and be a huge factor, a huge component to that. And now, obviously, we won't be seeing any of that. So it sucks. Sucks to see that happen for, Colorado to land their 3rd highest recruit of all time in Jordan Seaton, when Florida was obviously, had good reason to do that. Look, so my closing thoughts on all this for what's happening right now is, look, people are frustrated, and myself included, with what's happening. Again, us not having a D-line coach, not having a DB coach. You would expect that this thing would have been a pretty quick fix, especially if you go to hire them. Last year, we had a little bit of a timetable for turning over when we lost Patrick Toney and we lost our tight end coach, but those guys left. We didn't fire them. Now, I'm not saying that Billy didn't know what was going on, but that was a little bit different. But if you're planning on fire somebody, you have to have, I believe, a backup plan in place. And the thing that I was leading on to believe was, well, maybe they already have a name, they just haven't let it loose yet. But based on the interactions from Princely and Trevor Etienne, leads me to believe that we don't know who it is. Now, I did read an article about a 3-star safety, spoke with Austin Armstrong, and there could be a possibility, they could have possibly spoke about what DB coaches were coming in. I just don't see the coaches out there spewing that information out to recruits, and not concern of, it not being leaked. So I don't know. It's hard to trust this process, because the same things that concerned me last year on the football field, time management, play management, how they move the ball between, just managing the clock, managing the downs, managing the timeouts. Those were concerns last year. They rolled into being concerns this year, right? We didn't make any changes. And then we had this kind of quick little, I felt like a sense of excitement, a sense of urgency. First day in the offseason, we make 2 fires. Like, okay, we're making moves. Things are heading in the right direction. And then now it's been nothing. It's been quiet. It's been MIA. The only thing that's happening is we're just getting gutted left and right of losing players, but not being impactful in the portal. I'm like, well, sure, they just open on Monday. Well, yeah, I understand that, but schools have already had commits already. They're already landing guys. Kentucky's got a few. Mizzou's got a few. If they're already acting that quickly, and I was like, oh, well, they're tampering. I don't care anymore. Right? If that's what's happening, that's what's taking place, then somebody needs to lock it in and figure out how to get over that hump, right? We need to be able to, tamper a little bit, because we're well behind the 8 ball. Playing the rules that we've been playing, you've been playing these rules for so long now, and playing that same type of timeline that you tried to do last year, it's not going to work. We have to be overly aggressive, over the top with everything. We've already got FSU leading the way on a few top quarterbacks, and DJ Ugalali from Oregon State. So they're already working to the portal once again. A team that we've known has been extremely effective in the portal. And when we had Nick Del Toro on, he felt that, hey, you need to have a healthy recruiting class. The portal isn't a place where you can fix things right away, because he felt that it was more of like a used car sales lot, the transfer portal, than going out and getting a fine-tuned, top-tier car. I would have to disagree with just the amount of talent that's been plucked or infused into the portal this year in just Trevor Etienne and Princely alone from just our team. So maybe last year it wasn't as shiny as it is right now, but right now, I feel like everybody and anybody is leaving. Sure, you got your top guys of some schools, but DJ had a phenomenal year at Oregon State. He's leaving due to the fact that his coach just left. You got Dante Moore, quarterback out of UCLA. He was top tier prospect going there as well too. So you have a lot of top tier prospects from just one year that are entering it as well. Texas A&M, I mean, the whole thing is cleaning house. It's just look left and right. You've got somebody coming out. And look, they've got college experience more than some kid off of high school has. So I don't know. It's definitely a way to be able to build now and be impactful. And this is where I think people's patience are no longer, no more, because you look at the portal. It's like, Billy, you can go and fix half of your problems with just the portal. And I guess the next question is like, what is it, right? Why are we missing? Is it a financial thing? Is it an NIL thing? Is that what it is? If that's the case, that would be crazy to me with Florida and with the Florida Victorious feeling like I feel like we have a top tier NIL program. At least it appears to be that way, but we're not executing, right? So where is it being missed? Where are we losing this right now? Because financially, are we not able to keep up with these guys? Is the Florida Gators not able to keep up with someone like Colorado who just landed George Seaton? Is that what you're telling me? Is that where we're dropping the ball on that? So I know Billy said he didn't want to get into bidding wars. I feel like you're going to have to put that to a side, Billy, because right now I feel like that's the world that it's going to, and you're not going to be able to just win football games by sticking to your guns and sticking to what's right. I love the mentality. I get it. But I think it's going to lose you your job if you continue to say, well, this is how we're going to do it here in Florida. That's very Mullen-esque in a way, because that was something that I always was displeased with Mullen when he would come out and say, well, you should want to come play for Florida because it's Florida. And I agree with you. But nowadays, I don't think that doesn't even work for Bama or Georgia anymore, to be honest with you. Maybe a little bit because they've got some national championships behind their belt, but I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how the next few weeks play out, but I would hope we would get a D-line coach and a cornerback coach announcement fairly soon. I think we're getting a little too far into the portal, a little too far in the offseason without having that fix, especially with, again, I thought we would have, if we put those fires in place, we would have a backup plan already in place. And we may have those things, but right now it doesn't appear that way. So I do apologize again for missing the live show yesterday. I hope you guys enjoyed this little segment here that I have for you guys. So again, still working through a little bit of my sweats and my fever here. Can't tell, I'm a little off the weather. I'm a little off my game than I normally am. But be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section below. How do you feel about everything? Where's your head at on Bailey and Ape here? I want to see this from In All Kinds of Weather and Neil, where they gave us a grade 1 through 25. You're burnt out on Bailey. 26 through 50. We'll say, you're so on Billy. 50 to 75, I believe it was. Is like, I still believe, but a lot's I could still flip, and then 75 to 100, you're 100% bought in on Billy, but it doesn't mean you can't come down from that. So let me know in the comment section where you guys feel you're at with this entire situation and how it's unfolded thus far for the first few weeks of the offseason. And again, Billy, you hurt my feelings. You gave me a phenomenal birthday present last year, and then today you've just completely gutted me. So thank you for that. And I'll see you boys in the next one. Make sure, again, like and subscribe. We should be live with Stephen Harris tonight, or we're just going to do a video. So keep your eyes locked and peeled for that one. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.